Hello guys, so I'll be honest, training is getting pretty difficult at the moment, and when training gets difficult, motivation naturally takes a little bit of a dip. So what I like to do when I'm going into the gym is set myself little challenges. So for example, when I go in and I'm lifting 170 kilos on the pause squat, I will try and hold the pause a little bit longer, or I'll try and move it a little bit quicker. That way I know I'm making progress and I have something to aim for in my fairly boring session. So today is one of those sessions. So I'm doing my secondary bench day and I'm doing my secondary squat day. So I don't really have the motivation to actually go in and do anything, so I want to set myself a little bit of a challenge. Now, the challenge today is going to be moving 140 kilos quicker than I've ever done it. So I can set myself some sort of PB, and it just gives me that little bit of motivation to actually go and train. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look over all of the times that I've ever benched 140, and it's not that many times. I've probably done it roughly about 10 times. I'm going to look at the quickest time I've ever done it, and I'm going to basically try and beat that today. In a way, it just shows then I am making progress, and at the moment my bench is the strongest it's ever felt. So if I can get confirmation that it's also moving the quickest it's ever moved, then that's a sign that I probably have, or hopefully have, a PB on the way. Okay guys, so it's actually the next day now, because when I got home from the gym, it actually took me a lot longer to find every single 140 bench that I've ever done and actually work out how quickly they were. So what I actually found out from looking back over all of the footage is actually it's surprising how long ago it was when I actually benched 140. So I actually worked out it was March 2018, so that was almost 18 months ago that I actually managed to get 140 for the first time. So it's quite scary where that time's gone. It's been really quick. And I also did that at 93 kilos, which I didn't actually realise. So that's interesting. But anyway, I have actually looked at all of the different 140s that I've ever done and actually calculated how quick they were. So if we kick off with the very first bench press that I ever did on the 27th of March 2018, I managed to do this in 2 seconds and 82 milliseconds. So what I didn't realise is actually from this time to now, I've actually done 140 quite a few times, and pretty much around that time I was hitting it at around about 2 seconds. So for the sake of time, I've basically skipped forward to around about the beginning of this year, where things were starting to move a little bit quicker, mainly due to my body weight. But if I go to the 24th of January, this is the first bench press that I did of a 140 in the new year, and I managed to do this in 1 second and 12 milliseconds. So if we then skip ahead exactly 1 year to the day that I hit 140, I'm then doing it in 1 minute 18 seconds. Now, the only difference between that and the PB that I hit at PB Performance is the fact that I paused it a little bit longer. So there is some sort of discrepancies between how long I'm actually pausing it, which does affect how quick they were. So obviously, in a way, that was a better rep because I paused it longer. But anyway, moving on to the next one. This is the 4th of April. So this is just before the qualifying total at the Southwest Championships. And at this point, I'm moving 140 at 1 minute 18. So pretty much exactly the same as a month before. Then in the actual competition itself, I'm moving it at 1 second 31. Now that is absolutely no surprise, because in competition settings you're pausing it a lot longer. You've already squatted, so you're a bit fatigued. So I never expect my bench presses, and they never do, move quickly. So after that, moving to the 26th of July. So this is obviously a few months after I competed, and this is actually very recent. So this was literally a couple of weeks ago. I'm then moving it at under 1 second, and I actually did this one for a double. So obviously this is actually the first time I ever benched 140 under a second. Then skipping ahead only a couple of weeks forward, and on the 4th of August I'm managing to hit 140 at just under a second again. So it's quite consistently under a second at this point. So that now brings me on to yesterday's session. So at this point, obviously, I'm just thinking get as tight as you possibly can, bite down on your gum shield, you're listening to your music, you're getting nicely pumped up. So I was feeling pretty confident, and the warm-ups were absolutely flying, and as you'll see, I managed to get it in 0.86 of a second. So technically that is a PB, and it might seem insignificant of a PB, but actually in the long run, if you're going into the gym and you're focusing on hitting PBs like that, you're actually going to be making quite a lot of progress. So even if you're going into the gym and you're working on 70% of your 1 rep max on squats, bench or deadlift, if you're thinking about moving that weight as quickly as you can, your body will adapt to that stimulus and it will actually help you progress. So if you're similar to me and sometimes you do lack a little bit of motivation when you're going into the gym and you're thinking, nah, it's my light day today, I don't really want to be going in and doing the accessories and things like that, doing these little targets and these little aiming to hit these little PBs can really help keep you motivated, and just keeps the gym fun, because that is what, you know, that's kind of why we go to the gym at the end of the day, isn't it? Like, you want to enjoy being there. So setting yourself these little targets definitely helps me, and it's always nice to see that you're making progress. So all is good. Anyway, the week is not finished. I'm heading into the gym now, gonna go and train with Sam, and we're hitting, well, I'm hitting heavy deadlifts. I don't know what he's doing because he's still got a pulled hamstring, but we're going to the gym anyway. See you there. Can you pull that for me, mate? Thank you. How's your hamstring feeling?
It's good, mate, thank you. Alright, I felt great.
How did that feel?
Amazing. I'll crush it today.
Bit warm today, isn't it? Right, so 240 moves pretty okay. Obviously feeling pretty fatigued.
Where's my grand?
250. Let's go. What?
Where's my grand?
Alright.
I need my £1,000, bro.
Where's my money?
I've got that sweet mortgage to pay. Very bad. You know, like this time last week, I was doing like hamstring curls, like it's feet 20 into. Ready into the machine.
Evening, mate. So that's another week completed. It's always nice to finish with a high, so that 250 kilo moved as well as 250's ever moved, so I'm still on track with that. I'm not going to be training over the weekend, I'm just going to be going in and doing some recovery stuff. And it's always good to make sure you're doing your recovery things, because that's also what's going to really help. And it's also important to make sure your diet is 100% on point as well. Cheers to the new season.
Yeah, and to you. it's like Ramsey, isn't it, for Arsenal and Wiltshire. You know,